Yo, welcome back. You listen to the Future Sports Talk Radio. We are Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. It's your boy King Hulie on the mic, and you know the vibes. You know who I'm with. Well, as you can see, I'm not with a couple people. No White Mike this week. Horace might pop in. He might not. We don't know for sure. But as always, my A1 from day one is definitely in the building. Hollowpoint. What's up, my boy?
What up? What up? What up? What's happening,
What's
man?
good with you? How's everything with you, man?
Everything's fantastic, man. I can't complain. It's been a wonderful, wonderful week.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah. Any highlights? You're just coming off of a trip, man. How was
man. Well, you know,
which I'm still hating. I'm still hating. This dude is checking things off my bucket list.
Right. So we went to the Kansas City Royals. We took a trip out to Kansas City. We checked out first we checked out the Negro League Museum, which was awesome. It was very cool. You learn a lot, not only about it's so cool because Kansas City, as you know, you have the Monarchs there,
right?
So that's why they're big. There's a lot. It's real Monarchs heavy in the museum, for obvious reasons. They talk a lot about Satchel Paige. They talk a lot about Jackie Robinson, but they talk a lot of not only Josh Gibson, but a lot of other Negro League stars that you didn't really hear a lot about or not as popular as the rest of the ones that are popular.
Right.
Just a lot of info. There were so many different leagues that you had no clue about. So just a wealth of information. It was so cool. The pictures and memorabilia there. It was awesome. Then we went up to, of course, we checked out the Kansas City Royals and the Cubs play, which felt like a Cubs home game, which was cool for me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize there were so many Cubs fans. I got there, and the section I was in, it was just swarming with Cubs.
Swarming Cubs fans. There you go.
It was
That's always cool when that happens.
Cubbies. I'm like, man, how embarrassing is that if you were a Royals fan? But yeah, it was cool. We got the win, and that was pretty cool. Then we got a chance to eat some pretty cool barbecue, some pretty good barbecue from one of the local spots.
Well, okay, where would you rate Kansas City barbecue on the scales of barbecues? You know, you have Texas barbecue, you have Memphis barbecue.
Texas definitely better. I would say Kansas City is better than North Carolina. Memphis, it might be neck and neck.
Neck and neck with KC?
Yeah.
Okay. So Texas is better.
Texas is better.
Texas is better. Better than North Carolina, though.
Yeah.
KC is better than North Carolina. And then Memphis and KC, they going neck and neck.
Yeah.
That's about accurate. I haven't had Kansas City, like true original, like Kansas City barbecue yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. I just found out, I have an uncle that lives out there. So when I do go to Kansas City, I'm going to have to catch a Royals game for sure. But I will also have to have the barbecue.
You definitely do that because it's awesome. It's definitely worth it. And then from there we went on to after spending a little bit of time in St. Louis, went to the St. Louis Zoo, which was free, which was awesome. Took the kids to the zoo, both Kansas City and St. Louis. So we checked out a couple different zoos because the kids like animals. So we always throw in the little zoo trips when we go on these road trips and stuff. So check that out. Then we got to Cincinnati and caught the Reds and Cubs, which was another awesome stadium. The Reds fan, we were both fighting for last place, by the way. Neither one of us are any good at all. But you know what I mean? But the fans show up, and that's the great part.
That's the most important part, yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool to cheer on your fan no matter how good or bad they are. A lot of people are fair weather fans. Why not come out to a game, and if it's your team, just freaking support them. And it's cool to be out there. And then we went to the game, and then like I said, I talked to you in the chat. We went over to Kentucky, which is right over the bridge.
That's what I was interested in.
My geography game is very
terrible.
It's not good at all. So I had no clue how close we were
to Kentucky.
Kentucky. We literally over the
yeah, Cincinnati. Yeah, it's right across the bridge, right?
That little thing there, that's Kentucky. You know what I mean? And like, I was enamored with the fact that I'm literally looking at another city. Like,
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? So, like, we ventured over to Kentucky. They had a great aquarium there. Kids love that, and they had a nice little couple of cool restaurants we sat in or we went to, and like they had a whole little area over there, man. Like I said, told you before, they had like a little carnival that they were setting up for the weekend, but we were going to be out of there by then. But then they had like this little like boardwalk little action there, kind of feel to it. You know, they had like music playing. They had a big movie theater. They had a bunch of different spots where you could just sit and hang out. You know, they had like a guy playing the drums, and like a dude on the guitar, boo 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 boo. You know, it was cool. The vibe was cool.
Dope stuff. That's cool, man. I'm gonna have to make sure. Whenever I get back to Cincinnati, I'm gonna have to take that trip across.
Yeah, and like it was very cool. Newport, Kentucky. I'll tell you.
Newport, Kentucky.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out, man. I'm gonna check that out.
But yeah, we went there, and like I said, we finished there and brought it back home. It was all good.
That sounds like a great trip, man. I can't wait to Pearl and Chris like get together and plan this big Truth Be Told Sports. It's gonna be. I'm. Two things are gonna happen. I'm gonna be drunk one of those nights. I know I'm gonna have some fun. It's gonna be epic for sure.
Absolutely.
We're doing okay, man, over here on this side of the world. Just battling earthquakes and people, just a lot of people out here, you know. The 9U football team, we're doing good. We had some adversity, crazy stuff that happened. But now we on the other side of it. They're actually really excited, like to put pads on this week. So I think Wednesday we put the pads on. We're probably like about a week behind the schedule because of what happened before. But they look really good, really sharp in practice. So it's like we're going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited about that, man.
Good.
I'm also excited about this episode, man, because we have one of our a prior guest, and one of our old classmates is going to be joining us on this episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
98 in the building.
So speaking of, we'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. I'm King Hulie. I'm here with Hollowpoint as always. We're going to talk some Olympics because the Olympics has been going on right now. It's a lot of surprises, some disappointments in there too, man. There's a couple things we want to say about this 3v3 basketball team, man. This is kind of, but we'll get into that. Also, as we said before, our boy Coach Bo returns because college football is right around the corner. So Coach Bo is going to come through. He's going to talk about some Power 5 schools, what to look out for, and if you're a betting person, you probably want to pay attention. So right now, we're at the point in the show where I hand it over to Hollowpoint, and he lets you know where to find us on the socials. So Hollowpoint, what do you think?
Thank you very much, King Hulie, and thanks to everybody for once again joining us on another jam-packed episode of the Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. For those of you who want to find us on our socials, we are everywhere, all at the same time. We are on. Not only are we on Facebook, we have our Facebook page, we have a Facebook group. We also have our Instagram. We have our YouTube page, which you can go ahead and like and subscribe, share, and log into there. And we also have our X, formerly known as Twitter. And last but not least, we have our TikTok. So we are everywhere, all over the socials. Drop us a mention. Hit us up on our direct messages. We will answer. And just to let us know how great we are or how much you think we suck. Either way, hit us up there. And then once we get our magical website up, that's Truth Be Told Sports Podcast, www.truthbetoldsportspodcast.com, we will be ready to rock. So, as always, back to you.
I felt like that was a shot. Okay.
No.
All right, man. I promise I'm
No
gonna work
shots.
on it, man. I just been
No
so,
shots.
Just
No
been
shots.
busy, man. Coaching
You
is
tell
hard,
me
man.
to keep it. You told me to keep it alive. So I'm going.
Yeah, hey, coaching is tough though, bro. So I appreciate it.
I bet
it's a big commitment, and I'm pretty sure when Bo gets on there, he'll be able to back me up on that.
Oh, dude, I don't doubt it. No doubt.
Oh, you coaching for it. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Yeah, man. So, but I have been able to watch the Olympics.
Yeah,
for sure. I've been able to check those out. It's been really cool, and update so far. I think we are tied now with like the most gold medals with China. I think we have at 19. So
if we could stop them from getting gold medals, that'd be great.
Yeah, because they're collecting them like Infinity Stones. No, they're not. They're collecting those things like Infinity Stones, man. So it's kind of crazy. But I think we finally caught up with them today. Hey, shout out to Scotty Scheffler, the one who won the Masters.
Oh yeah, the golf one. Yeah,
he is now an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Now, so hey man, any highlights about the Olympics that you've been been really excited about?
Yeah, man. Of course, I'm always excited about the basketball, because there's so many doubters and there's so many naysayers, and I like seeing elite level play. Like, I love it. I love watching the way they can all gel together and just accept the roles and just do. When it's your time to shine, you go shine. Like that game where KD came off the bench and didn't miss a single shot. I was like, that was like music to my ears. It was so good. Hearing the net pop every time he shot. It was. I love that type of play, man. I'm telling you. It's just, and that was a highlight for me. Of course, I love a shout out to the big man with the shot put guys. I feel like I can if I could just get in the weight room. I think I eat and drink enough. I just need to lift more weights.
Lift more weights.
Yeah,
for sure.
You have to throw that thing at least 23 meters, I think is the goal this year, or 22 something. But if you ain't throwing it over 20, you just go sit down somewhere. But shout out to those big dudes who I think we got gold and silver in the shot put this year. So I was super. I love watching them, and the discus throw. Not so much what's the one with the hammer throw? I'm not down with the hammer throw.
The one with the yeah. That was kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That spinning will make me dizzy, bro. I ain't always.
I love the shot put. I like the discus.
I will 100% like let it go at the wrong spot and go back.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a menace, dude. I would never get that going the right way. I know I would.
Melvin Johnson, -5 meters.
Right. I just hit the cameraman. I hit the dude on. He was stretching. You know what I mean? Like I knew I'd be inaccurate as shit with that thing.
Breaking windows.
Yeah.
I would be banned for the Olympics for sure.
But yeah, those are my highlights, man. I love the basketball. I love gymnastics too. Especially so. Shout out to Suni Lee, and I know everybody. Simone Biles did her thing. I'm not trying to take away from her, but we got War Eagle, which when we got War Eagle representing, you cheer for her, and she did her thing. Like if she didn't have Simone there, she probably would have got maybe the gold. They got the team gold, but she did her thing on the floor exercise and the uneven bars.
Simone, okay, yeah, exactly, and we did get like a War Eagle actually made it out to Paris because like someone I heard like made a chant like right as soon as the
she yelled that.
You know what I'm saying?
She responded back. She gave her the love.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So officially made it. You know what I mean? Hey, we worldwide, bitch.
We worldwide.
So, no, but also like I liked all of that stuff, dude. A couple of things for me. Damn, I can't think of them now. The swimming, Ledecky.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah,
watch what was it? The 1500 meter. I was watching that. I was watching that with Pearl, right? And I was like, okay, look, I want you to pay close attention because this lady's like good. She hasn't lost a race in like I don't know how long. You know what I mean? It's been like
she holds the top 15 records.
Exactly, like the top 19 times in the top 20. In top 20 times in the 1500 meters, she owns like the top 19. Probably not like now with this one, probably owns all 20 now.
Right.
But I was like, Pearl, what I want you to do, I want you to pay attention to just the distance. Okay. watch how far this gap. So she's barely winning, like up and down, the first couple laps, but then like she's like, dude, what the hell? By the end, I think she ended up won that race for like 15, 16, 17 seconds, something like that. She had enough time like to get out. I was like, Pro was like, she has enough time to get out of the pool and dry off and wait for them to finish. We could have had like 2 commercial breaks.
She
an
had
episode of Maury.
She had her sweats on. She had watched the whole episode of Seinfeld.
She just took a nap, ate a sandwich, and it's been on the podium. And it's been on the podium waiting for the young ladies to continue to finish swimming. And I think they're done. They're probably done now.
Yeah.
But she just the way she destroyed that field, man.
Dude,
like that was one of the things. That was one of the things. Man, I can't.
They were hoping she wouldn't show up, but then they saw her and they're
like, damn, okay. All right.
Guess we gotta swim.
Guess we gotta swim now, Oh, and an old boy, man, like the Turkish shooter.
Yes, I knew you. That's why I let it go. I knew you were going to say
so crazy to me. That shooting was so crazy to me because it was when you would see it, when I would catch it, I would always see people. They would have all these weird equipment for shooting. I'm like, what is that? Yeah. Is any of that stuff necessary?
Why do you have a vest on?
Or you don't? Why do you have a? Yeah, you just come on. Then this dude just walks up in regular reading glasses picked up from Walmart with his hand in one hand in his khakis, winning silver medals. That was crazy.
I'll tell you that's like your uncle getting up there like, where is it right here? Hold on. She probably shotgun the beer on the way in.
The biggest thing for me though, bro, Snoop Dogg, man.
Dude, man.
Most envied man in America right now.
How about him?
This dude has been living his best life.
Nobody, you can't spell Team America without Snoop Dogg, man. That dude's been it's like Where's Waldo Snoop Dogg edition.
He pops up. He's there somewhere.
He's there. Like Olympic. He was at the gymnastics. Mm-hmm. He was at beach volleyball. He was at the water polo. Or no. He was at the swimming because he was there with Ledecky.
He was there for the swimming. Flavor Flav was there also.
Flavor Flav was there for water polo. He actually sponsored them, which was another thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he not only sponsored their whole journey here. He actually paid for. It was one Olympian's. She said she couldn't afford to pay her rent. She was going to be like $100 short on her rent.
Oh wow!
As an Olympian, like she can't pay for her rent at home, and he took care of her rent for her.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that was shout out to Flavor Flav. But yeah, Snoop had the equestrian.
Oh, bro,
he had the swag. He had the drip on, man.
He had the drip on. I saw that. The one that got me was the fencing shit. When him and the fencing stuff, bro. I'm like, man, this dude is living like every American's dream. I wish I could do that every 4 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He's like, I've done it all now. Like you ain't done what I've done. I'm like, yeah.
I can't wait for it to come out here, bro. I can't wait for it to come out here.
He was everywhere.
What are your surprises? So far in the Olympics, anything that you've seen, you're like, oh man, what the?
Well, the one that I was surprised by, and probably because my lack of knowledge within the sport because it's not covered enough, is the Ukrainian dominance on the high jump. And just to see that lady get up, and I'm gonna butcher the name. She got the gold. She got the gold in the high jump from Ukraine. Let me look at her real quick.
Yaroslava. I'm not gonna do that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
congratulations,
Yaroslava Mahukic.
Hey, congratulations.
And I know I messed that up. But congratulations to her, man. She was surprised. I was watching it. She was dominant. She cleared it, and it looked effortless when she did it. And like she did as much as she needed to do. And she was like, all right, we got this. So
I was looking at her, and then the girl from the chick from Australia, and she was all trying to pump the crowd or whatever.
Right.
I was like, yo, I know they hungry. They got to be hungry. They got to be like. You can't.
What? You
What?
can see their insides. Yeah, you can see
the words coming out of that. Like you can see the words leaving their throat.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like, come on.
You're right. No, you're right. They look. Yeah, that was a great surprise for me. Also, the watching the decathlon, man. It's just, I'm surprised that they didn't die on the field. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. It's a lot. Like I got a mound of respect for all the Olympians, but y'all are just doing one thing, especially the track and field guys. Like track and field, they doing 10 of them, 10 of the events. They're doing them. Long jump, high jump, pole vault. They're doing all them things. And I got miles of respect. Just surprised they're still alive, man, to be honest with you. As far as disappointments, man, I'm disappointed in the 3-on-3 basketball. I don't know what the criteria is to make it on that team or in the organization, but I think they need to reassess. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many people turn them down or what, but I know that product on that court was abysmal.
Horrible. Yeah,
it was abysmal. So.
I think, and I've seen Ice Cube comment on this, and he's like, "Man, we could have sent 3 people from Big Three, and could have came on with a gold. If that's the case, bro, I could go down to freaking Venice Beach right now and find 3 people right now. Right now, I can walk into any LA Fitness right now, right this second, and find 3 people. You come this way.
I think the format is kind of wild too, because it's like constant. It's steady moving, and the way those guys and the way those overseas guys kind of play. I say overseas. The way the European guys play is a little different because they go in for the fight. Like you could tell they play with refs because they literally go in to try to get a call from you. Like especially when you get so many fouls, like I think it gets 7, you start going to the free throw line. Yeah. So that's how a lot of times that's how they beat you is they'll start getting fouls that put them at the free throw line. So they can just hit free throws for the rest of the time. So it's kind of bothered me that way. They don't play like a straight up kind of I'm gonna beat you kind of game. They try to play a little that type of game. But that's another story for another day. But overall, we didn't have the talent to win, and they got ousted. They were 2-5 overall. So it's just like Jimmer Fredette and whoever. So I was disappointed.
I'm telling you, man.
Disappointed.
They need to start recruiting. They need to start recruiting right now. Because in 2028 the Olympics will be out here in LA, and you know what? I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. I want to be the coach of the 303. I'll just go to any LA Fitness or any Venice Beach or any park out here. Go to any park.
Right.
I'll find 3 people that can do better than what that was.
Something, man. That's crazy. Insane.
My surprise, man, honestly, is Noah Lyles, man. I didn't expect him to win 100 meters. I'm used to those people, and I like people who are confident. You know what I'm saying? I like people who like to talk their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like people who who believe in themselves a lot. But this kid, man, I think he's ODing on it, bro. And I mean, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You talking crap, you go out there, you win the 100 meter. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But like, damn, dude. Like, I kind of wanted him to lose because he talked all that shit about when he was talking all that crap about the.
Stay in your lane, man. He lane jumped.
And he came close. And he came very close. And I was like, oh shit. Like I was like, man, if he loses this, he's gonna get dragged on the internet for a very long time. For a very long time. You're gonna stop seeing all these people comment on Simone Biles' husband and calling him a simp and stuff like that about, wearing her medal that she put around his neck.
Shout out to Simone though for coming through.
Oh yeah, for clapping back. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was vicious. I loved it.
Yes,
I loved it.
Yes.
Don't talk about my man. That's my man.
Yes.
Don't worry about what he do.
Yeah, don't worry about what he do. You know what I'm saying? If people would just like know they role and shut their mouth, stay in your lane. You wouldn't have a lot of these influencers would go away. A lot of these influencers think they know everything would go away.
I had him wear mine. Stay in your business.
Yeah. Stay in your lane. Stop coming to my defense. I don't need you.
I don't need you. I don't
need you. I don't know you. Just go sit down. You know what I mean? Go get you a man that you can put. Go get you a man that you can put your Kenny shoes badge around, around his neck. You know what I'm saying? Go get your man to do that.
Shout out to her for just coming.
Shout out to her. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. That was pretty cool. That was a cool moment. That was definitely one of the cool moments. Oh, Simone was just like on one, bro.
In the
and what only just that she clapped back at old girl from called them like lazy or not uninspired or some shit like that. So she clapped back at her too. So Simone Biles like Snoop Dogg. Simone Biles having the best Olympics right now. Those two.
She's having a get back here from Tokyo.
For sure.
It didn't go so well over her there.
Yeah, she's talking shit about everybody. If you said anything wrong about her, she coming for you.
You catching.
We not saying anything. Hey, Simone, we ain't said we love you.
Nope. We love you.
We love
and your husband. Hey, shout out.
Anytime you guys want to come on the show, feel free.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just feel free. Just let me know. My disappointment, I haven't seen the breakdancing yet because I'm very interested to see how this is going to go.
I'm be honest with you, I'm not.
No,
I don't think there's any way for me to like it.
What do you mean?
I don't know because I think the format's going to suck. I just think, you know what I mean? Like I hold it so sacred to my heart,
right?
That I was just like, it needs to be awesome, and I don't think it's going to be.
Right.
And so I'm scared to watch it. I don't know if that makes that. No, it doesn't make any sense. But
as long as it ain't Wade and his crew, you know what I'm saying?
It might be though. You never know.
Or
stealing moves. That's your move.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It might be Wade and his crew. But I don't know, man. Like I'm interested to see. I know I've seen breakdancing videos like from on YouTube randomly, and a lot of people could do this shit. Pretty dope, plea. Across the world.
Yeah,
I don't want to, American breakdancing. If you're listening right now, if this event hasn't started, if you're listening right now, do not go into this thinking it's in the bag.
Right, not the case.
Okay, not the case. Because
not the case.
If it is,
breaking is around the world.
If that's the case, and you go in there and you get we will bring you right back on the carpet here to the Total Sports Podcast.
Absolutely, and drag.
Yeah,
absolutely,
drag you. So be ready, man. Hey, college football is right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
yes, sir.
We have our resident coach. Good guy we've been knowing since like probably what was it, 6th grade, maybe 7th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that.
Something like that.
Long time. It goes back a while with us.
Goes back to the way back, man.
It's only right that we bring him back on this show to talk some college football because that's what this guy enjoyed doing. We enjoy listening to it, and he also does things with bets. So if you're a betting person and you listen to the show, you probably want to get your pen and paper together. So welcome to the show, Coach Bo. What's going on, big dog?
How's it going now? Good, glad to be here. And
welcome back, brother.
How y'all doing?
Great, man.
Hey, it's good, man. How's everything been with you, man? How's life down there in Mobile?
Good Lord, as fast as it can be. I just finished summer school as the summer school principal, and now I'm getting ready to start my regular session, which we just started on Thursday. And my daughter, she's going to be a senior this year, and she got a couple of cheer offers already, so we're really excited about that. And
where to? Congratulations.
Jones
shout
Junior
College. Shout her
out. She's got 3 offers right now to Southern Miss. That's her first Division I offer. And then she's also got offers to Jones Junior College and Mississippi Gulf Coast Junior College. So
right on. Hey, congratulations, young lady.
Yeah,
congratulations.
The thing I like about it the most, she's really committed herself. She works hard, and it keeps her out of trouble. So
that's the best part. Man.
Keeps her grounded and keeps her head on straight, and she works hard. So really proud of her.
She has good parents too, so that's always good.
Yeah. Well, I like to think that I have done something good in my 45 years on this planet.
Hey, man, there you go.
If that's all anybody can say good about me, I'll take it.
There you go. Hey, honestly, that's the most important thing. It's like,
hey, absolutely.
I think with you, man, and I got to tell you, I got to tell you this. I love giving my longtime friends their flowers, especially those that are in a positive light, man. You affect more children of our future than anybody that I know. And I want to say thank you for that, man, because you guys steer a lot of these guys in a positive direction. And that I think that's awesome that you're still at it, man, because I know you've been a coach ever since I've known you. What better way to do it than you rear these kids in the right direction. So great job, man.
I appreciate all that, fellas. It's I was telling y'all offline, the hardest part about teaching is really not the kids. It's when the adults don't do their job. The adults in the building, the adults outside the building. But the kids are pretty easy. And the one thing I found that if you're just real with them, they'll take you for whoever you are and
agreed.
That's true. Have some kind of a positive influence and just give something back. I mean, guys, you think about us growing up. We all went together. We all went to Fondy Elementary School together. Fondy, Azalea Road, Davidson. Think about all the good people that we came across in those buildings. That had an influence that, I feel very blessed to be in a position where I can give back. And, I just really enjoy it. I'm the head JV baseball coach now. As frustrating as that gets at times, it's so much fun to watch those kids succeed. That's the best part. Is when they have the success and they see it and then they really take off. And speaking of baseball, we've got two from our baseball program that are going to be on campus at Auburn next year. One's going to be playing wide out at Auburn, Bryce Kane.
Okay.
Bryce Kane, let's go. Go.
I heard y'all talking about the Royals. His uncle is Lorenzo Kane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's got good genes.
Yeah, that's cool.
And his dad also played football at Miami, so good genes there. And then his brother Brandon is going to play baseball at Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
But the other Auburn guy is Connor Gatwood. He is a pitcher. We had him at Baker this year. He actually got drafted by the Angels in like the 16th round this year. But he throws about 98, about 6'5", 220. Yeah. He's monster. He's got the whole package. I just hope my only hope for him is that he keeps his head on straight. And this is for any young college athlete.
Absolutely.
Keep your head on straight. Remember why you're there. Achieve your goals. Be successful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, man. But we brought you here, of course, obviously, because college football is right around the corner. And you prepare us for the college football season. So what you got for me this so far? I mean, this season,
man. Hey, I did want to say one thing before we get into football. Hollowpoint, you were talking about going up to Kentucky, and about how literally you can stand there and see into another state.
Right.
Well, my wife's from Louisville, so if you go into downtown Louisville, you can look right into Indiana. There's the Ohio River right there, and you go over the bridge, and you're literally in Indiana.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy to me. But anyway, we went up there one time, and my wife has a cousin that played baseball at Louisville. And at one time, he was roommates with Adam Duvall, plays for the Braves. He was also good friends and roommates with Asad Ali. That is Muhammad Ali's son.
Oh,
and he got to meet Champ.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Way back when. So he was a super great guy. And, a lot of times when you would see Champ, you would see him, he would have the tremors real bad. Right. And the reason is because the medication he would have to take, like when he would see him in the morning, he was very lucid and everything, but the medication that he would have to take would get him kind of in that state. But, but anyway, it was pretty cool just to hear him talk about that. And if you ever get a chance, you're up that way, go to the Louisville Slugger Bat Factory.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Yeah. My father-in-law had an uncle named Red Lucas that played for the Cincinnati Reds of all teams. Shocker. And he's actually in the Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame and That was back when they were playing two ways. So like one season he batted 270 and threw like 300 innings on the mound. And he finished like 9th or 10th in the National League in the MVP balloting. And he holds one record of dubious distinction. He gave up the last home run to Babe Ruth.
Nice.
So he gave up 714.
Yeah. So when you started talking about Kentucky, man, it just started bringing back all that stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's a neat little trip. A lot of history up there. Baseball.
Oh, dude, it was so
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was unexpected for me for sure.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's great. Well, let's get into the college football, man. I wanted to start by saying, and we were talking a little bit about this off air, but it's a brave new world in college football. Oh, and I figured out what's wrong with my camera. Apparently, it's on in another app that I can't figure out. So I have no idea what's going on. And I tried to delete my other two apps that it could possibly be, and it wasn't. And I don't know what's going on. So
it's all right, man.
So but people probably don't want to see my face anyway. So, the one disappointing thing, Hollowpoint, for you is I wore my Macho Man Randy Savage T-shirt.
Oh, come on!
And I wanted you to see it, but what the greatest moment of wrestling when the Mega Power shook hands and locked it up, baby. But I don't know if I should lock this up. What's going to happen there, brother?
Why did they do
that? That's one of the best promos ever in the history of wrestling. Was the Mega Powers coming together, and Hogan starts talking about going into the Ioniverse and all this stuff. Oh, it's fantastic. I was 10. I still thought it was real at that time. But anyway, on to college football. And just there's so much we could talk about, but I'm gonna kind of break this down tonight. We're gonna talk some about the Power 5 conferences. Well, now Power 4 plus Notre Dame, which we'll talk about them too. We'll look at some of these strength of schedules, or not strength of schedules, but strength of overall rosters and how they're going to shake down. A couple of interesting facts this year, new things. 73 quarterbacks from starting quarterbacks from last season are on new rosters.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm not, again, you heard me correct. I said starting.
Yeah.
So you got so many guys moving around, and what it's affected the most is these group of five. I still refer to them as group of five. These smaller conferences, I mean, their rosters are getting gutted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gutted. I mean, you go back and look through, and these just team after team, experience rating 90 plus, 100 plus, 120. It's just amazing. So when I was looking at my future bets to look at conference champions, I bought a few more tickets on the lower conferences because, number one, these teams, none of them have the depth. None of them, even the teams that are a little bit on the more higher end, your Memphises, your Liberties, your Boise's, they don't have the depth. So they could take 2 or 3 injuries and their whole season could be thrown upside down. And one of these other teams kind of come out of nowhere because they're all so close.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's about 3 or 4 teams that are kind of a notch above. And then the rest of them, you could give me 100 scenarios and I would say, yeah, that could probably happen. Just looking at the turnover in these rosters and how inexperienced these teams are and the coaches moving around and so forth.
Right.
So, but anyway, we'll start with the SEC since they are the best conference. There's 2, 4, 5 teams that have a power rating in the top 10 as far as just the strength of the roster. That's looking at recruiting rankings. There are 2 teams there are only 2 teams that are outside of the top 50. So that shows you the balance between from the top to the bottom. But there's every team in the conference is rated between 1 and 33, except 3. The only 3 teams, Arkansas is rated 48. Vanderbilt is 96. Yes, I said 96. And then Mississippi State is 99.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, they could be in for a long year. But anyway, I have a little rule that I have when I'm looking at some of these teams, and I'll look at kind of bad looking at conference champions and things of that nature. It's called the rule of 3. I like to look at the coaches that are in their third year. Coaches that are good in their third year, that's when they pop. Second year, they get the program. They win a game or two they shouldn't. The third year is when if they're going to pop, usually is when they pop. And the 3 that are in the SEC are Brian Kelly at LSU, Brent Venables at Oklahoma, and Billy Napier at Florida. I don't know who Billy Napier made mad, but Florida has it's like the Bataan Death March, their schedule. It is outrageous. Let me just read to you. Let me just read to you there. I've got the Phil Steele magazine here, my trusty go-to, just a wealth of great information. But the Florida Gators, I mean, their win total from Vegas is over under 4.5. It's their schedule. Let's see, they open up with Miami, and then they play Samford. That's a win. Then they play Texas A&M at Mississippi State.
That's a win.
That's a win. A&M's a loss. And then they have a bye. And then they play Central Florida, which Central Florida is going to be really, really good. Gus Malzahn himself said that, the quarterback, KJ Jefferson, that was at Arkansas, transferred to Central Florida. His words, and I quote, well, I shouldn't quote because I don't remember exactly, but he said something to the effect that KJ Jefferson is the closest player to Cam Newton he's ever seen. And he said, point blank, we are going to get back to that power option read football. And KJ Jefferson could have a massive year.
He said that shit about Jeremy Johnson, bro.
The difference is KJ Jefferson can actually run. So we'll see, but they've got a ton of talent. They're going to score a ton of points. But anyway, there are 2 non-conference games. I mean, 2 of them are Miami and Central Florida. Then they play at Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State.
Damn.
I mean, that is
RIP, man.
That is
RIP, bro.
That is outrageous. That is
RIP, bro.
Outrageous.
That's a lot. Let's say you dodge 1 or 2, right, and you scrape by. You don't get by all of them.
No, you're not. Because the way the SEC is set up, bro, like teams, the physicality that's there, it's gonna beat you up. And if you let's say like Georgia, right? They play Georgia on the road. They're gonna get beat up in Georgia, right? But then the next week they have to travel to College Station. Travel to Texas. And they're gonna get beat up more in Texas. So I mean,
in my mind, the mental toughness you gotta have to go through the beating you're about to take.
I know.
Through the course of a season.
And that's what the average person the SEC haters out there, that's what they don't understand week to week. And Oklahoma's going to find out because their first 3 games they play like Temple, Houston, and somebody else. Okay, so they'll get 3 wins. And then their first conference game, Tennessee comes to town. I think they'll win that game. I think they'll be okay in that game. Then they go to Auburn. Now, I think they should win that game because they're going to be better at quarterback. They've got a better overall roster, but that is going to be a knife fight. Auburn's going to be a 4-quarter game.
You understand? That defense still there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Our quarterback is suspect as heck, but defense still pops in the mouth.
Absolutely.
Hey, he's not suspect at all. That dude is terrible.
He's not. No, he's terrible.
There's no suspicion whatsoever. That dude is horrible.
Yeah, that's going to be Auburn's.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's going to be Auburn's bugaboo is the quarterback position. But my point is, my point is, getting back to Oklahoma, they're going to find out real fast because there's really no bye weeks. Now, the one thing I do like that the SEC is doing, everybody has 2 bye weeks. They have a double bye. But getting back to Oklahoma, and I really like Oklahoma this year, believe it or not. I mean, they've beaten Texas 3 out of the last 4 years, and everybody's on Texas. Everybody, the talk of the town is Texas, and I kind of think that's the way Venables likes it, kind of under the radar.
Keeps them under the radar. They still play well.
We're going to be under the radar. We're going to play good, solid defense. We're going to line up right. We're going to play physical at the line of scrimmage. See, I think Oklahoma with Brent Venables is a far better fit for the SEC than Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. They would get skull drug every week with Lincoln Riley in there.
Because Lincoln Riley doesn't play physical football.
No, he doesn't. So, all he wants is the ball last. He just wants the ball last.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be able to tackle. You have to be able to tackle. You have to be able to line up right. You got to play at the line of scrimmage. You got to run the ball and run the ball with power, especially when teams know you're going to run the football.
Exactly.
And, he just doesn't do that. I mean, he's totally reliant on my guy back here taking snaps is better than anybody you got, and we're going to outscore you. So,
yep. And not for nothing.
Hey,
I think,
you know what?
I think the only reason.
It kind of works, though. It kind of works.
Yeah. I think the only reason that Texas gets more publicity, for lack of a better term, is simply because the last 2 years of them playing Alabama. That's it. I think.
Well, you had that, and they don't forget they won at Alabama and made the college football playoff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they beat Alabama. They almost beat them the previous year, and they actually beat them, this past year, and then made it to the college football playoffs, and that's why they get the praise they get. But I more agree with you in terms of direction of the program. Like, I like Oklahoma better than I do Texas.
Oh yeah, and I think Oklahoma's going to be Oklahoma. A lot of people there's two schools of thought with Oklahoma and Texas coming in the SEC. A is that the SEC is about to swallow them up and they have no idea what they're in for, and then B, they're going to come in and show the SEC how to play. And I don't think either one of those are true. I think it's somewhere in the middle, and they're going to find life tougher because with just like let's take Oklahoma's schedule since I have it pulled up. You play Tennessee, then you got to go to Auburn. Well, it's not like you play the one big game and then you play Texas Tech.
There's no let off. There's no let off.
There's zero let up, and then if you go through the rest of their schedule,
Auburn, then Texas, then South Carolina, and you got Ole Miss, which they probably that might be.
No, still everything's solid there. South Carolina's solid.
I mean, you still got like some solid like Maine when they get to Maine. When they get to Maine, they get a break.
Yeah, you get a built-in bye there, but then you finish the season with at Missouri, Bama, and at LSU.
Yeah, that's tough.
On top of what you've already played. So there's
like I said, man, the mental capacity you got to have to go through that beating just throughout that season. It's got to be coaches got to be on their game to get them boys together, man, because you can easily see them like kind of like going by the wayside. That's a lot. Bro.
And so what I did for the SEC is I bought 3 tickets to win the conference.
There you go.
Now, when I buy these tickets for future tickets, a lot of times I'm not going to play who I actually think is going to win it because there's no value.
Right.
So if I'm going to have my money tied up for several months, I mean, granted, it's not a lot. They're $10 tickets. But if I'm going to do that, I want there to be a payoff. So, like, for example, I did not take Georgia to win the conference because I think they're right at even money to win the conference. There's no money to be made. So I bought 3 tickets where, I think they could potentially win. They could if a couple things break their way. But I took one on Alabama at 8.5 to 1. Those are really good odds. I bought one on Texas A&M at 20 to 1, and then I bought one on Oklahoma at 45 to 1. And you sit there. We just talked about Oklahoma and their schedule, but according to Phil Steele's power rankings, they have the 7th best roster in the entire country. So I get the 7th best roster in the entire country with 45 to 1 odds. I'll take it.
That's not bad.
I'll take it. And that's when I'm looking at these long-term odds, I'm factoring stuff like that in. Now, is Georgia going to win it? Probably they should.
Right.
They have the best 2 deep in the entire country.
Yeah.
But I mean, they lost last year. I mean, they granted it came down to the end, but they didn't even make the play. Now, of course, under this year's format, they'll probably make it this year.
Yeah.
But it's a like I said, it's a brave new world out there. So there's all kinds of new scenarios. And then as far as just to make the playoff, I bought a ticket on Texas A&M. Okay, they were the only team from the SEC I bought a ticket to make the playoff because I think Alabama was actually minus money, Georgia was minus money, and I think Texas was minus money. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, but anyway, Personally, Georgia's got the best roster. They should win the conference, but it's such a logjam in there. I mean, there's so many teams that can beat these teams, these top teams, just about any given day.
Yeah,
any given Saturday that they line up, and it's going to be a knife fight all the way through this conference. That's what I love about the SEC is even the games where you think, remember Georgia went to South Carolina 4 or 5 years ago, turned the ball over 5 times and got beat.
South Carolina beat them. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, these things happen. These are real things that happen, and these rosters up and down are loaded. Now, Ole Miss is the flavor of the week. I'm not going to throw any disrespect at Lane Kiffin for what he's done in Alabama. Okay. I love Lane Kiffin. I think he is so great for college football. I really do.
Oh yeah. We talk about how he got fired in LAX all the time.
Oh man, but
see, I think you feel differently from him than I do. I don't want to speak for Hulie, but I know I don't feel the same. And I'm not here to disrespect him, but it's like you kind of want Kiffin, like, look, just coach and like. His character jumps out of the
part
screen.
Of it, right? That's a part of it. That's the part of the. It's the Lane experience.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's not just coaching.
That's what they're sold on.
It's never just coaching.
Right?
Not just coaching.
It's the Lane.
They want the hype train that comes with it.
Yeah,
right. Just get your popcorn and get ready.
Right, he's going to pop off and say something.
Are we going to win any meaningful games? Probably not. But
well, and that was going to be my point. Is Ole Miss is kind of the flavor of the week this year, and they're going to win games, and they're going to be a fun watch. Offensively, I don't think there's any better play caller in college football than Lane Kiffin. Just like I don't think there's any better designer of offenses and offensive plays than Steve Sarkisian. But that's a little bit of my Bama bias coming out. But you talk about how many. Well, you talk about how many thousands of plays I watch these guys call, and you're just like, oh my God, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
But with Ole Miss, they're great until they face those upper echelon teams, and it's like they run into a brick wall. Right. Look how Georgia dominated them last year. Bama, they couldn't get the ball over midfield in the second half. I mean, they just hit when they play those upper echelon teams that are really good in the trenches like that. It's like, bam,
real tight,
breaks. They can't do anything. They'll win. They'll win a lot of games now, and he'll win a lot of games. But it's tough for Lane when they play those upper echelon teams. Okay, let's go to the Big Ten real quick. Obviously, I did buy a ticket. My 2 tickets I bought to win that conference, Oregon at 2-1.
Ooh, I like it.
It's a good pick. I like that pick.
Okay, here's y'all are going to laugh at the other pick, and then after y'all stop laughing, I'll explain to you why.
Okay.
My other pick to win the conference is Iowa.
I knew it.
Oh, no.
Get him out of here. What are you doing?
I'm kind of buying that too. So I'm buying what he's selling.
No, do not buy that.
Okay, here's my rationale. Listen to me. They're 35-1 to win their conference. Yeah. This is the best defense. On paper, this is the best defense they've had in like the last 10 years. There. Number two, they finally got rid of Brian Ferentz and got a real offensive coordinator. It was the guy that was the head coach at Western Michigan. And they brought him in, and you think about some of those Western Michigan teams the last 4 or 5 years played for conference championships. You say, oh, that's on a lower level. Yeah, but here he's got better athletes. He's got better O-line. He's got better he's going to have a better defense that he can do some things on offense that maybe he couldn't do at Western because he knows we can take a shot here because we're going to get a stop, or we feel good we can get a stop. 3, and I did not even realize this until the season was over. Iowa lost their 5 best players last year, and I believe 4 of them were on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They lost McNamara, the quarterback. They lost I think it was a running back, a tight end, an offensive lineman, and they're going to get all of those guys back. Remember, they finished the season with, I think, the 3rd-string quarterback. I think the 2nd-string guy got hurt too.
Something like that.
But anyway, Iowa's they've got a legitimate quarterback. They're going to run a legitimate offense with a legitimate offensive coach and play caller. And I just think, again, 35-1. And by everything that I have read, they're going to have the best defense in the conference. Yes, better than Ohio State.
Now I'm sold on their defense.
Yeah.
I have no qualms about they're going to have a tough defense because that's honestly what they bring to the table. Is all that's been their calling card is tough defense and a running game and a solid running game. Only problem is their offense was so anemic.
I agree.
That their defense would be on the field so much that they just get worn out at time of possession, and then by the second half they were toast.
And that was their issue last year.
And I get it. That was their
couple years.
That was their biggest issue last year. Yeah.
Right.
And last year.
And look, also too, and I know it was hard for Kirk Ferentz to have to try to fire his son, but the offense was so bad with him running the offense that there was a clause in his contract that if Iowa did not average 25 points a game, that they could fire him.
Right.
And 25 points a game in today's college football. I mean, the service academies do better than that.
Yeah, true story.
Not hardly throwing the football. So
no, it's just that's the thing, but I can't believe in their offense.
There was a time where Iowa on offense they put several quarterbacks in a row in the league. They were playing in the Orange Bowl. I mean, we're not talking about anything out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, historically, but we're talking now. Like we're talking this year, last year. They've been terrible at best.
And again, Hollowpoint, 100%. I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah.
But like what I'm saying is a lot of these bets you're making based on a feel.
Yeah.
And again, the number. Like if Iowa was 10-1, I wouldn't touch it.
Right.
But
you're talking value.
Yeah, I'm talking value 35-1.
I get
you. I just looked at that and I said, you know what? I will take a shot because let's not forget. Remember the year that Alabama played Michigan State in the college football playoff?
Yeah, when they
Iowa played Michigan State in that Big Ten championship, and if Iowa won that game, there was a strong contention that they were going to go to the playoff that year.
Right.
And it literally came down to a fourth and goal, and Michigan State scores and then goes on to win the game. But we're not talking about, in all due respect to the Nevada Wolfpack, who their Vegas win total is 2.5. We're not talking about that trying to make the college football playoff or to win a conference championship. We're talking about a team that just needs to be retooled some on offense.
Right.
And what we know about the transfer portal is you can retool one side of the ball in one season.
That's true.
Almost overnight. So
that's true.
Maybe things will look up for them, but I suspect it'll be Ohio State and Oregon again.
Yeah.
They play early in the season in Eugene, so that'll be a good tell there.
Yep.
Another team I'm looking for. I'm real down on Michigan. I think they only bring back a couple of starters from last year.
Yeah, they got rid of everybody's went to the pros.
Yeah, and there's still some probation supposed to be coming down. I don't know.
Harbaugh got out of there in a hurry.
Oh, he cheated, got caught multiple times, suspended multiple times, and before they dropped the hammer on him, he walked out. But anyway,
he went out.
But anyway, I really like the look of Nebraska, getting that Raiola kid in. There, last year if they just had competency at quarterback and wouldn't have turned the ball over so much, Jeff Sims was so bad. I mean, just dropping the ball, putting the ball. I mean, 3-4 times a game. You can't win like that. You just, when I saw he was transferring, I was like, wow. I was like, they're going to have a little something there because, you watch Jeff Sims and you're like, man, this guy's got some juice. He's just playing on a real bad football team. Yeah. But talking about at Georgia Tech, he was there when it was real lean.
Yeah, he gets in Nebraska. He's like, nah, it's I think it's Jeff Sims.
Yeah, a lot of that might have been on Jeff Sims, but I would
not to fast forward you a little bit, but I know we talked about the ACC, but I don't think we got a chance to hit the now what the Big 12 looks like right now. What do you think about the Big 12?
Okay, the Big 12, I think from an aesthetic just watching them, that may be the most fun conference to watch because you don't have a dominant. They do not have one roster in the top 10.
Right
now, Utah's close; they're number 11.
Yeah,
but you've got. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 rosters between 11 and 46.
Yeah.
A lot of parity is what I'm saying. And then if you even go look at the ones that are outside of the top 50, you got Texas Tech at 55, Colorado at 53. And then the worst three rosters are BYU 73, Arizona State 75, Houston 83.
Still better than Vanderbilt and
yes, yeah, but there's and I'm gonna tell you right now, again, I'm looking at value, I'm looking at long term, and y'all are gonna laugh. What did I buy? I bought 4 tickets to win that conference. I bought one on Utah, and just in case things get squirrely, I took Utah at 3-1. I took Iowa State at 12-1. I took Oklahoma State at 14-1. They bring everybody back. They played for it last year, and they've got everybody coming back this year.
I like
that. And then I bought one on UCF at 10-1.
Oh man, that's yeah. That I mean, like you said, it's about when you're talking about the best. It's way different than who do you think's gonna win. It's
right.
Yeah. You're talking about what you think is the best value on your pick.
Yeah, and then you got two.
That's a different way of thinking.
Yeah, you got two coaches that follow my rule of 3 here, and one is Sonny Dykes at TCU.
Yeah,
and the other one is Joey McGuire at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why? Yeah. Oh, and going back to the Big Ten, the only coach that falls in the rule of 3 is Dan Lanning at Oregon.
Yep, Dan Lanning. Yep.
So
I think if he could pull it off, if he could pull that Big Ten off this year, I think you're going to start talking about him in terms of how you talk about those upper echelon coaches.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. He has the. I don't know if swag's the right word, but he has enough.
He's got the juice. He's
got the juice in him.
He's got it. He's heading in the right direction.
He put some accomplishments on top of that. I think it's going to be a good. He already has a good program, but it could be that much better if
he's missing that marquee.
And Big Ten is ripe for the picking because they don't have.
It is.
Ohio State's not necessarily as great as they were, and like we said. Michigan's down. So, yeah.
Well, everybody's so big on Ohio State. I mean, everybody has basically, what I listened to, has already crowned Ohio State the national champion because they got Caleb Downs from Alabama, whatever. But you understand their quarterback is, I can't remember his name, but he was the starter at Kansas State last year and transferred.
Mm-hmm.
There was a reason.
Man, what's his name?
There's a reason that he transferred, and that's because he wasn't going to start over the kid, the freshman from last year. I'm terrible with names. I forget his name too, but he was going to be the starter. He basically ran him off. And my whole point is this: I don't care what your talent level is. There comes a point where you run into a team that's just got some dogs,
right?
Well,
and when you don't have that high level quarterback play, it's hard to win those games. And I just don't see him offering that.
Yeah,
I just don't. With Howard, that's it. He's definitely an upgrade from the guy they had last year.
Yeah, for sure.
He transferred. He's at Syracuse now, but I don't see him as like a transcendent guys. I mean, think about C.J. Stroud. Could not get to a national championship.
Right.
And right now, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best 5 or 7 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Sure.
That's just my opinion.
It's an argument. For sure.
Again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. But I'm saying you're not way off from that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and I don't see him anywhere even close. Oh, but the talent around him. Well, guess what? All those teams in the SEC got guys just like that.
Yeah.
Every team is just like Ohio State. Well, not every team. There's 4 or 5 teams that I could think right now, if they had to play on a neutral field or Ohio State had to play on an away game, there's a real good chance they're going to lose on any given Saturday.
Oh yeah, so, Saturday for sure.
You know, I tell you, a team to watch for this year is Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Cignetti the architect of the James Madison program, and apparently Indiana has more cash than Alibaba. Apparently Indiana has just dumped poodles of cash into that program. Yeah, and that would be a team that I would really look out and I would really watch for.
Indiana, huh? All right.
The Hoosiers, baby, and it ain't basketball season.
I'm making notes, man. You say Indiana, I'm gonna give them a watch.
Hoosiers. It reminds me. Every time I hear Hoosiers, I just think about those rainy days in PE. And
right.
Oh, no doubt.
Video, man.
No doubt. I tell you, one of the things I think about every time I see Hoosiers is I think about that movie Blue Chips.
Blue Chips.
The Shaq Penny Hardaway movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
with Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to the ACC. Everybody's big. Yeah, everybody's big on Clemson and Florida State. Not this guy.
No.
Florida State's only got they've got 10 starters coming back, 5 on offense, 5 on defense. Clemson's got 14 starters back, 9 on offense, 5 on defense. I don't like the trajectory of Clemson, and we were talking about this online about how Dabo is still coaching like it's 1989 and will not get into the NIL and the portal. Now, granted, and I say that, I don't like Florida State's trajectory because they're pulling too much from the portal. They're pulling 25 to 30 players from the portal. And here's why I say that. Because a lot of these guys that are going into the portal, it's because they won't. So when you get a bunch of guys that just won't, and I'm not saying all, because I don't know the situation. I can speak. I know of one situation in Alabama where a player specifically walked into Nick Saban's office on multiple occasions and said, "You better pay me." And they're doing that to Nick Saban, so I can only imagine, what goes on at some other places. But Florida State, a good chunk of their roster are portal transfer guys. And something else we were talking about before the show started was their lack of character and class that they displayed after they quote unquote got screwed. Now I'm going to clear this up right now. They did not get screwed. The committee screwed everybody because the committee totally had the ratings wrong. Because even if you look at it, if Alabama doesn't beat Georgia, Georgia gets in, Washington gets in, Michigan gets in. There is no way Florida State would have got in over Texas. No way. No way. So everybody was saying, "Oh, it's only because it's Alabama." Well, flip it. It would have been Texas. Right. Florida State was never going to get in.
Nope.
Never. And then and the one that should have been mad was Georgia. They went from 1 to 6. And Georgia just said, again, this is the difference in the character and the class of the programs. Georgia said, "We're going to show up and we're going to beat your tail."
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They scored 70-something. That was an
monkey stomp. They monkey stomped them.
That was an absolute embarrassment.
We'll show you. We'll just quit.
Yeah. And so I just wonder if that's really an issue at Florida State. And now you're taking in DJ Ungalele, who we saw him fizzle out at Clemson. We saw him have some mild success out in the Pac-12 with Oregon State, but they were a run-first, run-second play defense team. You watch him play, and it's like he's going to make the mistakes. So it's he's
a head case too.
Yeah, and Hollowpoint, that's almost exactly what I was going to say. There's 2 ways that I've seen teams really get to him. One, they blitz him right in his face. Mm-hmm. They get right in his face, and he panics. And the second thing they do is they play zone and they make him read the coverage.
They wait him out. Yeah. Throw it right to
Poor
you.
Kid, man. He's so confused.
He'll throw it right to you.
So, and I've heard some people say, "Well, all the offensive staff at Florida State and blah blah blah, and they're going to fix this and fix that." Okay, good luck.
Yeah, no,
good luck.
I'll bet it gets that every time.
Yeah. So anyway, I bought 2 futures on this conference. And one we were talking about beforehand that I know Hollowpoint's not excited about, and I'm really not either. But I'm banking on one player. Yes, I'm banking on Cam Ward at Miami to be the singular best player in the conference and to dominate. If he doesn't, they're a 7 or 8 win team. If he does, they're in the playoff.
Okay.
And hell, he may even win the Heisman Trophy. That might even be a Heisman Trophy odd you might want to play to look at. But Miami's track record says is it's not going to happen, but I'm taking a chance. The other chance I'm taking is Virginia Tech at 20-1. I loved it. And that's another Heisman Trophy odd. Kyron Drones, 100-1. If Virginia Tech makes the playoff, I did buy a ticket on them to win the conference and to make the playoff at 9-1.
I like Virginia that. Tech. I like the Virginia Tech.
Yeah, if they do that, if they do that, Drones is going to have a blow up year. He's going to have to.
Yeah.
But we saw him after he was installed. He took over. That offense really took off. Really stabilized and settled down the program. And I think they're on a good trajectory. And Brent Pry at Virginia Tech is one of the coaches in this conference that fits my rule of 3. This is his 3rd year. So all the coaches that fit that requirement, Mario Cristobal at Miami, Rhett Lashley at SMU, Brent Pry at Virginia Tech, Brent Key at Georgia Tech, and Tony Elliott at Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Georgia Tech is my surprise team to make through the conference. But again, they really made somebody mad because I'm not the biggest on the ACC. I think there's a lot of mediocrity in the ACC, but I will say that they got the hardest possible schedule that they could possibly get to play in that conference. They play here. I'm pulling it up right now. They play, they opened the season with Florida State. They also play at Syracuse, at Louisville, Duke, at North Carolina, Notre Dame, at Virginia Tech, Miami, NC State, and then they finish with at Georgia. That's non-conference, but still, every team that's above them that's in the conference, they play. So yeah, good luck, guys. And don't forget, NC State's got Grayson McCall, the stud quarterback from Coastal Carolina. Again, that's another one. Some Heisman odds. Again, you're just looking, hey, a guy that can really pop, and people kind of forgot about him.
To be honest, this is why I love to that the beginning of the year feel, because like all these colleges you mentioned, all these universities you mentioned, that they have this like reinvigorated fire in them, that thinking it's gonna be, this is our year.
This is their year, yeah.
This is the one right now.
Yeah.
And like, it's awesome because they're gonna play whoever they play in the first week isn't gonna be anybody special. There are a handful of games that are gonna be worth watching. But for the most part, they're gonna come out, they're gonna have positive, everything's gonna be great, and then they're gonna run into that first little wall of, and then it's what do I do now? Like, So I look forward to watching it. I like that Virginia Tech pick that you have. I really like what they got going on, and plus I like you don't have a lot of faith in either Clemson or Florida State for the simple fact that I don't think Clemson brings the talent that they used to bring before everybody could. They don't. Now everybody can get it, and now they're just like nobody. So
and I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something else too. If they get in a game with Virginia Tech, well, hold on. Let me because Virginia Tech's got a good schedule too.
Yeah.
Let me flip onto it real quick because they play.
I would say this, Hollowpoint. I would say this, and I'll put it into like something where you probably get. Believing in Clemson now is a lot like wearing Rockaware jeans in 2007.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Way past its time.
Way past.
Well, for Virginia Tech, they open up with Vanderbilt, Marshall, Old Dominion, and Rutgers. Those should all be wins.
See?
And then they go to Miami. That's going to be a tough one.
That's the barometer right there.
Yeah. And then they have they have Stanford, and then a bye, and then Boston College, Georgia Tech, at Syracuse, Clemson at home, bye, and then at Duke and Virginia. So I mean, they don't play Florida State, they don't play NC State, they don't play Louisville.
They have a good schedule.
They have a great schedule. So and that's also something else that factors into it too when you're looking at these. Oh, but real quick, a team that I'm down on is North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's a good team to be down on.
Yeah. Two teams I'm very interested in is Georgia Tech Haynes King at quarterback. They had a pretty good offense last year, and they messed around last year and got to a bowl game in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 8 starters back on offense, including the quarterback. Again, Brent Key's in year 3, so we'll see. And another team. Now, this is so interesting and so intriguing. This could be amazing or horrible. Okay, Boston College. Who was the head coach? Bill O'Brien.
Uh-huh.
Who was the quarterback? Thomas Castellanos. Remember some of the games he had last year, the Florida State game where he threw for 300 and ran for 100. He had some big games. He also had some inconsistencies, but you pair up this offensive line they're going to have with a quality offensive coach like Bill O'Brien that's been around for a long time. They have 17 starters back, 9 on offense, including the quarterback. They could be one of the surprise teams in this conference. I'll be interested to see if that offense will work in Amherst throwing the football around and all that cold and bad weather, especially late in the season. But we'll see. But again, there's so many of these teams: Pitt, Syracuse, Wake, Virginia, Stanford, Duke, Cal, North Carolina. These are incredibly beatable teams. Very, very mediocre teams.
Yeah.
But Boston College intrigues me just like Georgia Tech. And then, of course, you got your other usual suspects. I mean, Louisville's not going anywhere. They're going to be strong. They've got a really good offensive coach. NC State, Dave Dorn's probably done one of the quieter, better jobs. I mean, NC State's not exactly a football powerhouse. They're winning 8-9 games a year. And now they have a difference maker at quarterback. So we'll see. A lot of people are big on SMU, but I'm not big on a school transferring from a lower level to they're going from a non-power 5 to a power 5. And it's not like they're going from one group of 5 to another group of 5. I mean, they're really stepping up and where the biggest difference is going to be at the line of scrimmage and the depth. So we'll see about them.
Okay.
All right, man. Bro, man, we appreciate you, bro. Like we're getting very close here on time. So, man, definitely gonna have to have you back out here again pretty soon to go over like some more stuff about college football. It's been very informative. Picked up a couple things too. I know where to place my money at because I don't like gambling. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my money should go in my pocket, but I want to put some money, trying to make some. I want to make some, trying to get some extra airs. I'm gonna make sure I double back to this episode where I encourage a lot of our listeners to do. To double back to this episode and play some of them bets like that Bo's laid out. You had me wrong. So I appreciate you, my dude.
Oh yeah, great to be here, man. It's always good. Just good to catch up with you guys, and then on top of that, we get to throw in a little college football, man. It's all worth.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, man. We appreciate you, dude. Hang tight. We'll get with you in a minute. Hollowpoint.
Sir.
Any honorable mentions? You got any honorable mentions, brother?
I do. One is a baseball one. Wanted to give honorable mentions to my Chicago Cubs, who just took 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals, so suck it, Cardinals. And also I want to give a shout out to, me and you are big wrestling fans. The return of the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns, came back and speared old boy into oblivion. So that was awesome. Great. So
did you anticipate that happening?
I did.
Did you think that was going to happen? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of figured. That's why he called you.
Yeah.
That's why he called you.
I knew it was going to happen.
Normally, when something like that happens, I'll call you.
Right.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
Yeah, SummerSlam, and my Cubs taking 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. Those are my mentions.
Couple, man. Shout out to Aaron Judge hitting 41. Shout out to Jazz Chisholm, like the newest Yankee. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I like the swag. A lot of people don't like it.
He's electric.
His glove is cool. Like, hey, I don't give a shit. I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to High Hope Softball. We about to open up season 3. Those are my honorable mentions, man.
Okay.
SummerSlam, bro. I enjoyed it.
It was phenomenal.
I enjoyed it. The one thing that got me was the Liv Morgan that angle.
Dom Mysterio.
Dom is he's a double. He was already a heel.
They hate
double
him
grimy heel. He was like, you're a double heel now. Like you're the first double heel I've ever seen in my life. People already hated you.
He's got that white hot heat,
even more
white hot heat on him. Yeah,
shout out to that. I was like, man, because when he picked her, I mean, not when he picked her up, when she hit Oblivion on the chair, slid the chair to the ring, and he jumped off the apron, and like the camera cuts him. I was like, was that a mistake? But he was smiling.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is he smiling? What the fuck, were we supposed to see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he picks her up and then makes out with her, and hey, shout out to Dom, man. This motherfucker winning.
He living his best life, man.
Rhea Ripley.
Hey, I don't know, man.
We know it's not real. You know what I'm saying? We know it's not real, but. Hey.
But again, he's not losing. That's all I'm saying.
He ain't losing at all. He ain't losing at all. What about shout outs, man? You got any shout outs?
I want to shout out to just the OGs, man. Thanks everybody for listening. I want to shout out to just my crew for making it back. There was a long road trip, man. It was 30 hours total driving. Yeah.
Son of a wow.
Yeah, 30 hours of total driving, man. It was just shout out to the Holloway crew, man. We just chugged it through, and we made it back, in one piece, and everybody was good to go, no sicknesses and things like that. So
that's awesome, dude, man. That's
awesome, bro. I love those things.
I couldn't imagine 30 hours in a van with Brandon. I would probably throw him out somewhere in the
Listen. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you it didn't cross my mind. Just hanging by his ankles. I'm not gonna tell you it didn't cross my mind. You know what I mean? But they, for the most part, they had their devices and power, so they didn't bother us too much. But it was a lot of the bad negative energy that when can we go home, or when they don't like the same stuff, using something awesome and they like negative it,
stupid.
Yeah. So I want to knock you out,
learn something.
There's a lot of that. So, but overall, just shout out to my family, man, and shout out to all the listeners that always come and listen to our stuff. We definitely appreciate you, and you never let us down, man. I look at those numbers and I'm like, God, man, they really are here for us. So I definitely appreciate that. And
we're over 300,000, I believe now, and that's like just amazing to me. So like, definitely, man, shout out to our listeners, man.
Yeah,
you guys hold us down, we hold you down. I know we've been inconsistent so far with this season, but a lot of things have changed in our lives. So like, we're trying to readjust to it so we can include you guys in our lives. Like, here's like the YouTube thing. YouTube thing is one of the things we was like, you know what, let's put our faces out there. What I mean? Website's coming back, and that's for sure gonna come back. I've just got to find more time to do it. Job requires more responsibility. Getting into coaching requires a lot of responsibility and time. So, but we're still trying to take a little bit part of our schedule, out of our daily, weekly lives to, come together and make this show. So, because we love making, that's the most important. Like, we love making, but we know you love listening to it. So,
absolutely,
put out these bangers until we get tired of it. Now, I'm not tired of it. I know my guys ain't tired of it. So. We're going to continue to make these. Shout out to, the La Mirada 9U football team. Those guys working really hard. I can't wait for the season to start. Season officially got underway where we can actually practice with helmets now. We're going to move over to pads. We're going to find out who's who on this team. We got a lot of dogs out there, man. So, looking out for us out there in the Pop Warner League out here in Southern California section. And if you want the smoke, come get it. What else? Man, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you and Horace and White Mike, man, for holding it down too, man. I appreciate you guys seeing all the stuff on TikTok that you guys put out. So, it's been helpful, man. Shout out to Coach Bo for coming out again. He'll be back probably next week, if not the week after that. Even not the week after
I think next week, man. I think it'll be good to bring him on next week. Hopefully, we'll get his camera going. Because I have a list
how
of
handsome this dude is.
Yeah, I got a list of college football questions I got to hit him with. So hopefully we can get him to come back next week and we can talk a little more. He's a great a great almanac of information when it comes to talking about the details and the ins and outs of the coaching and the transfer portal and whatnot. So hopefully we can get a lot more insight on that and what it means to college sports, college football.
Exactly. All right. Other than that, we appreciate you guys for tuning in for Hollowpoint, for White Mike, for Horace, and for, of course, for Coach Bo. We are Truth Be Told Sports Podcast. Thank you for listening. Rest in peace, Kobe.